Thank you very much friends for joining me today in this video, and today we are going to discuss something about being automatic in our responses. As I discussed in my last video, right, I hope you are following it, and if you have not, please go through my video which I posted yesterday. That was about I am automatic, right? So you can even find it on YouTube also. So if you go to that video and if you just listen that video, I have discussed something about that our whole body physiology is automatic and we need everything in the outer world automatic. We love to be automatic, right? But do you know that many a times your stresses and your tensions and your problems and your reactions to certain things are also automatic. Let me give you an example. Before that, let me introduce you to myself. I am Ashish Nagar and I am an NLP Wellness and Life Coach. I am a physiotherapist and I have been working in psychosomatics and physical pain since last 20 years. Now, this time has come when I discovered that physical pains are not only caused because of physical problems, and that led me to a discovery of psychoneuroimmunology or mind-body connection. And now then I was exposed to neuro-linguistic programming, that is NLP, and now I am an NLP practitioner. So I look beyond and away from the, rather higher than the physical pain only. Now let us come to the point. Now again, let me tell you that if you enjoy this video, please do not forget to give like, or please do not forget to express yourself either through comments or whatever, because your feedback is my bread and butter. So if you give me feedback, if you enjoy the video, if you are getting involved with the video, if you are getting informative information in the video, please post it so that I can be informed that you are really enjoying this video, right? So now let's come to the point, and today I'm going to discuss about how our emotions and reactions become automatic. Since childhood, see, we have heard that one, and we have seen this video also many a times. We have heard this particular notion that a child is never worried or afraid of water, or a child has an innate, anybody from us have innate act that we know swimming since we are in the mother's womb, right? Because when we are in the intrauterine life, we are having that sac filled of amniotic fluid in which we keep on drifting and rolling, right? So we are swimming inside the mother's womb for 9 months, and they have found, even in China and in Japan, they have done studies where they have put the newborn babies in water, and those babies were about to, whether they swam in the water, right? So this is one thing. Now what happens is, we introduce the child with the concept of drowning, with the concept of depth of water, with the concept of no breathe when in water. So this is we who introduce the child with these concepts, right? So when we introduce the child with these concepts, you are implanting fear in the child, right? A child, like we have always seen the story of Mowgli. Mowgli never knew what is fire and he was never afraid of fire, right? But as soon as he came in contact with humans, he understood what is fire, right? And humans used to deal with the fire effectively, whereas Mowgli didn't know how to deal with fire, because he got his first 6 years in jungle, so he never knew what is fire and how we can use it positively. He always got feared or afraid of that fire, because that particular notion he learned in the jungle with other animals. What I mean to say is that you have to understand this particular thing, that whatever notions we have, we get them from somewhere, right? So everything, each and everything in our body. Now there are so many myths running in the society that are actually myth. Nobody knows. They have been introduced because of certain positive reason, but now they are so hardwired in our system that we cannot change them, in spite of the researches going on, and research is saying us that this is wrong. We cannot believe in it because it is so hardwired in us. For example, there are certain things. For example, in Indian community, there is one thing, that you should not eat sour food when you are hurt. There have been reasons behind this. When see, in our past, the whole medical system was managed by our gurus or our rishi munis, right? So at that point of time, there were no dressing pads, there were no nothing. They were only having some leaves which they used as medication, and they used to cover the wound, right? But leaves were not that hard bound as our dressing are today. So they floated this, that if you eat something sour, because normally sour taste is always accompanied by sweet, right? So if you eat a sweet and sour dish, the sour might drop down. It was not civilized enough to have spoons and to have plates to eat, right? So they used to eat in those leaves only, and they never had spoons to eat. So while eating, it used to drop down on the wound, and because it was sweet, so it caused infection. Now this particular thing, that so the rishi munis at that time, the saints at that time, they said that you should not eat sweet when you are having any physical problem, or when you are undergoing a surgery, or you are having cut on the body. Now this particular belief in today's time, when the surgeries are done in perfect environments, and when the surgeries are done with complete care, it is covered, the wound is covered with water free, waterproof dressings. Still we have that particular notion hardwired in the community and in the society and in our brains. So today also we hear patients saying that I did not eat sweet this time because sweet can cause infection. You see from where a particular notion or a particular belief or particular myth. Have you ever searched in detail about the myths that you are following? The normal myths we are following, there are so many myths that we keep on, we just accept them as our belief system because this is given to us since our childhood. So you will burn with fire. If a person gets burned with fire, how can a person do fire walk? Even I myself, during my NLP coach master's training, when I was taking train the trainer course, we have done fire walk 2 to 3 times, right? 2 to 3 times in the sense we have done it in 2 sessions, and in each session we have gone approximately 4 to 5 times from that fire without burning our toes. How does this happen? There is a science behind it, definitely, but there is a belief system that you are actually cheating, and you should understand that if this can happen. We have seen in so many English, Hindi, Gujarati, various regional and international movies that a person performs an act beyond his particular limit or power, or beyond his so-called limit. So these limits are set by us. What you are is a limit that is set by you. Now these beliefs act as triggers in us, So for example, if you don't sleep for 8 hours, you will not have sleep. Now that is a belief that medical system has given, and because of this, there are people who are absolutely workable, who are working with 4 hours sleep. They are thinking that they are insomniacs, and they are going to doctor and they are taking sleeping pills. You just understand, try to understand. See, I am not saying that I am opposing the medical science completely, or because I am a part of the medical science. But what I mean to say, that there is no fixed window for anybody. If somebody, even I have trained myself to sleep for approximately 4 to 5 hours, and if someday I work till morning 5:30 or 6 o'clock, I sleep at 6, I get up at 7 o'clock, and I take a 2 hours nap in the afternoon, that's fine for me. I need not go to sleep for 8 hours, and this is a fact. What I mean to say, that these triggers are set by us, that we say that eating this will cause this, right? Doing this will cause this. If you are having this, you will be having thyroid. If your parents are having diabetes, you will be having diabetes. If your parents are having hypertension, you will be having hypertension. If somebody in your family has suffered with some neurological disorder, you will have. These are the beliefs running in the community, which we accept as it is without questioning them. If it was so, right, how did Narendra Modi become great when his father was a chaiwala? How did APJ Abdul Kalam Azad became such a great scientist where their parents were not in that condition to even teach him in a science school? How anybody in this world, how did Steve Jobs became Steve Jobs. If this was correct, if this was true, that you can do only what your parents are doing. What the parents make the biggest mistake, they are the creator of these triggers. In us also the triggers are put from our parents and from our grandparents. Although, please understand this, when as a parent we put this particular limitations on our kid, we put it for kids' safety. Not understanding that safety is becoming the cage for the kid. A very simple and very well known example, that a elephant cub is tied with a simple chain since it is a small child, and as it grows it always learns that it has grown tied with that simple chain. Without knowing its own capacities, it is just surrendering to that chain, that simple chain of which the elephant can break with one jerk of the leg. But the mentally the elephant is trained that he is tied to this chain, and so he develops himself with that thinking that I cannot break this chain. This is what is limitation, and this limitation is created by triggers in our body. Now what are triggers? Eating curd or banana in cold season can cause you allergies or can cause you infection. This is a trigger. See, what happens is you are undergoing an experience, and when you are undergoing a particular experience, for example, because of certain reason I am not feeling fine today. It can be any reason, XYZ reason can be there, and I am not feeling fine today. And if I am not feeling fine today, and on this particular day when I am not feeling well, right, I am having a little bit of fever, I am having a little bit of congestion in my throat, right? During this period only I go out in the car and I am exposed to dust, right? And because of that dust particle going in my nose, I sneeze. Right, and as I sneeze, I relate it, because already my mental status is not very good. I am not feeling very good, so I am in a lower mental state, and in this lower mental state, when I get exposed to dust and I start sneezing, my brain makes a knot over there that dust is causing you sneeze and it is causing you allergy. You understand, each and every allergy in our body, most of them are related, known allergies. Let me tell you, these are those allergies which we cling upon, that yes, I am having this allergy or I am allergic to this particular thing. Do you know that these allergies are also triggers that we have developed? I know this is hard to understand. This is hard to digest also. But normally allergies are nothing more than our triggers related to a certain condition of our body and relating it to a certain external factor. So then we start saying, if I sleep in AC, I start getting infection. If I sleep in, if I travel in sun, I will get infection. Let me tell you one thing. We have one presupposition in NLP, and that is that if one person can do it, anybody can do it. This is the very strong, and this is the strongest thing. Tell me one thing, that if today you are in India and you are in South Africa and you are tolerating 48 degrees of temperature right here. So if today you are in India and you are tolerating 23 degrees and you are saying that it is hot, what about the people who are near the equator? They are definitely tolerating much higher temperatures in the daytime, and they are working in sun, and all they are getting is their body is getting tuned to working in that environment. When it is cold outside, we say that today it is very cold and it is 8 degree or 7 degrees Celsius outside, right? Do you know that people living in western or in northern countries are routinely throughout the year exposed to these temperatures? But they don't die, they don't sit under heater all the time, right? They do work in ice also, they do get out of house also. And there are people who are living in minus degree temperatures also when in winter. And there are certain countries in the world which are in winter for more than 6 to 8 months per year. So do people stop working over there saying that it is too cold outside? They do not. So it is we who accept these things and keep them in our trigger. If I am exposed to cold, I'll get ill. If I am exposed to hot, I'll get ill. We say it ki loo lagna, right? So if I'm exposed to hot air, I will get ill, right? If I'm getting wet in rain, I will expose to cold. So in each of these seasons are creating trigger. You are creating triggers for yourself, and might be you have not experienced it, but you have heard it 1,000 times. And one time in your age, anytime in your age, right? You have been hearing this, that do not get wet in the rain because you will catch cold. You have been hearing this since you were a child, right? 1,000 times you have got exposed to rains and you have got wet in rains before this also. But that particular day when you got wet in the rain while coming back to home from office, and as soon as you reached home and you entered the house and there was something that caused you sneeze, so you sneezed, and as soon as you sneezed you got a sentence from either your wife or your mother or your father that, see, we said you don't get wet in the rain, you will get cold. And in that particular condition, when your state is in higher awareness state, because you have gone wet and you have just entered the home, you are still not out of that particular whole mindset that you have got wet, and you sneeze, and the dialogue that comes in inside with after that sneeze is that, see, we said you that don't get wet in rain, you will get cold. And then you catch cold and you actually suffer from cold symptoms for next 15 days. Do you understand? Are you getting the point what I am trying to say? At a particular state of mind, when a particular comment comes in, and along with that comment, if there is a trigger that causes you or that creates a certain change in your physical or mental or physiological state, our mind catches it and makes a knot of it. And this knot is known as trigger. So next time, whenever you are getting exposed to rain, you will fear getting in rain because you think that you will catch cold. I just want to say that there are weathers, they are changing, and there are people exposed to all extremes of weathers all around the world, and they are surviving. It is we who are putting limitations as triggers to our body. Allergies are a most part of our triggers, and these triggers are not self-made. Many times they are given to us, right? So I met a patient who was 16 years of age, and she was suffering from some ankle sprain, okay, and when we were sitting together and having a discussion, she said that this season I have not had any sweet, and I have not had anything that is sour. I asked her why. She said, because I am having a sprain in my foot that will increase the swelling and pain. So I explained her this thing, that this will not happen, right? And to prove that, the next day I got an ice cream for her with this sweet and sour flavor, and we sat together and I just took her in some other experience of her childhood where we were discussing some good times of her school, right? So after the treatment, when we were sitting together, we were discussing a good time in school, and I just popped out that ice cream which was sour and sweet, and I fed her the ice cream, and even my kid was sitting there, so one cup was taken by my kid. And she had the ice cream, she went home, she came the other day and she completed the treatment for next 4 days, and we didn't have any discussion about that particular point that she had that ice cream. And after 4 days, when I asked her that how is your pain, she said, I'm better, definitely. So I just notified her that 5 days back with the ice cream which you eat, that was what flavor? She said it was mango ice cream. I said it was mango, it was kacha mango, so it was sour also, and it was sweet also, and you did complain of increase of pain to me. Do you realize that? And then she noticed that yes, this happened and nothing has happened with me, so that trigger was left out. What I mean to say, if you are experiencing anything, just cross question your body and check yourself. Yesterday I said that you have to become aware of your states, and you have to become aware of your state, that whether what I am suffering is what is going in my body. See, for example, many times you don't have to do a certain job, and when you don't want to do a certain job, your body can create a reason for you to not do that job. This is getting much deeper. These are some things I am discussing from the platform of psychoneuroimmunology, and this is what happens that when you take something in your mind, if there is a deadline or if there is something that is very important that needs to be completed and you think that it will not be completed. Now this is not blaming, because this all is going in your subconscious mind. It is not on a conscious level. So do not start or think blaming yourself. This all what I am saying is going at a very subtle subconscious level, which is being fed from our childhood, right? So that is why it is very important that we plan our work. If you have deadlines, you have to be prepared to meet the deadlines. Otherwise, you will do two things. Number one, either your body will create something that will not allow you to reach the deadline, right? Or number two, second, what can happen is, under the pressure of completing the work in deadline, you will get into stress and then you will get into problem. So please try to understand that triggers are created from the beliefs that we get from our childhoods, from the way we store the information inside, and from the way our brain connects to the events related to certain things that are going in the body. Alright, so you just have to cross check this connection to overcome this particular trigger. Now that doesn't mean that you go and expose yourself to lot of pollen and lot of mud and say that Ashish sir has said that this was my mental thing, so let me work in pollen and I'll not get infected. What I mean to say, there are ways in neuro-linguistic programming, there are techniques in neuro-linguistic programming which can help you overcome your allergies. So again, if you have further questions related to what I have discussed right now, right, this might be a concept which is definitely bizarre for you. You will not be getting this what I am saying. You will be thinking he is mad. I'll expand on this topic for one more day, so that, and with some more functional examples so you can relate to it, right? We'll discuss about this tomorrow again. In between, if you have any questions or if you are puzzled, if you cannot understand this concept, please leave in comment, or if you have questions, ask me down in the comments so that I can explain you the concept in further details. And if your questions are coming to me today, I can address these questions in my talk tomorrow, right? Okay, so you can stay connected to me on my YouTube channel. You can stay connected to me on this page, that is my FB live page, that is NLP Ashish Nagar. You can stay connected on my Instagram, you can stay connected on my Twitter, you can stay connected on any platform you wish to. You can follow me. Although I am not very active with these things, but I'll try to address you if you connect to me, and if you have any question, direct it towards me so that I can help you out. Okay, leave questions over here. Now if you have any other queries, you can either mail me on the email that just flashed on the screen. You can WhatsApp me on the numbers that have been scrolling on the screen, right? And you can come into contact to me and you can ask your queries to me anytime you want to. So with this, I'll end today's session. Thank you so much for being with me and for trying to understand what I am saying, right? I hope I made the point a little bit clear. I'll make it even more clear with a live example tomorrow with you, right? So stay tuned and do not forget to come back to this page and see a video. And do not forget to log in and see the video on YouTube. And if you happen to come to my YouTube channel, please subscribe and turn on the notifications. You can follow me on every page also. Please like my page so that you get a notification whenever I upload a video or whenever I upload content, right? Very soon I'll be coming with blogs also, which will be supporting these things in much more detail. If you are interested, you can even visit my blogs, right? I'll give a notification whenever I upload a blog related to triggers, because this is a very deep thing. We'll be going to one more lecture with anchoring and triggering, and let me explain you the concept in much more detail. So again, thank you for joining me today, and bye bye from Ashish. This time, let's see you in tomorrow's lecture. Till then, take care.